life could be a hard thing to navigate. And it's one thing to make mistakes and cause yourself suffering, but when someone else causes you to suffer, when someone else is ruining your life, then it's even harder to swallow. And that's what happens. The more relationships, even the more things that we buy, if we're not careful, they can ruin our life, not complement our life. Everyone's imperfect, so it's not about, everyone has to be perfect. And you have to take accountability that it takes two to tango. You allowed them in your life, or you're continuing to allow them in your life. So, you can't make an excuse that it's someone else's fault. Aaron, great to see you. Shout out to you and all my moms. My mom once told me, she goes, Sam, don't let me ruin your life. She goes, I don't want to ruin anyone else's life. Sometimes you may think your parents ruin your life. Sometimes you may think your children ruin your life. Sometimes you may think your pets ruin your life. It's a natural emotion. Okay. And that's why as you get older on your journey, you want to be cautious on adding people or things because, there's only so many resets you get. Good to see you, Andre. Great to see you, ESP. Love to all my members. I appreciate you. Let's do it. Show up. So, I wrote this down on my phone. Always write down what you need to remember. Put a reminder in your phone. Whether creative, professional, or personal. You got to follow up with other people and you got to follow up with yourself. And I wrote this down as I was going for a walk. Most of your ideas come when you go for a walk. Very little ideas come when you lay down. Very little. More depression, more stress, more anxiety comes with idle time. More productivity, more creativity comes with active time. Never forget it. And so I wrote this down on my phone. Okay, and I wasn't thinking about one person or one thing. I did reflect on when my mom told me that. She goes, Sam, you got to make your own decisions. Don't let me ruin your life. And I respect that. I appreciate that. And, where do you go when you feel like something is ruining your life? Well, separation is the first thing. Okay. Like I say, when I feel very negative, I separate myself from other people. Not in an isolationist way, but in a way, all right, let me regroup. Okay. And let me not permit what is ruining my life. Let me not just separate, not just say I'm done, but change my number and make no way to go back. Or, I remember one time I was struggling to change jobs. I secured another job, but then, it's like everyone wants something better, but you'll be given opportunities for promotions, for change, for more money. But then you got to walk into that. Okay. Then you got to walk into the fist because you're going to, when you take a promotion, you take a new job, even if you're going to get more money or it's better, you're going to get hit in your mouth with pain of change. When you sell your house, you're going to get money, but you're going to get hit with the pain of change of having to adapt. Nothing comes without some type of hit. What are you willing to take the hits for? You're going to realize not other people. Obviously, look, you got young kids or whatever. But I often said, look, I see a lot of times people raise someone else's kids and the kids still end up like horrible. And I don't know, look, everyone's got to do whatever they got to do. But just remember that other than like taking care of someone who has no capacity to take care of themselves, and if you're doing that and working a full-time job, you're doing the wrong thing because you can't do both. You can't work a full-time job and be a caretaker. It's just impossible. So, and look, well, let's stay positive. I'm not going to say that part. I want to say this. This is something that comes across your mind in life. And if you have good people in your life, they try to not to make the burden heavier. If you have bad people, they guilt trip. That's manipulation, number one. And they're not doing what they need to do for themselves. That's number two. And you got to separate, number three. And then you got to stay separated. See, guys, many people say they're done, or many people sell, or many people change. Many people lose weight. It's hard to really sustain. Okay. I'm not saying you're always going to be by yourself. I'm not saying you're always going to be the skinniest you've ever been. But I'm saying changing your lifestyle for long term. This is what we're talking about, because without that, guys, if you don't change, nothing changes. Your life stays going ruined. So, I often think that, what do I need to focus on? Because most of what people are doing is a distraction on what they need to do. What do I need to do for me? And, I think that's the biggest struggle. Figuring out what you need to do for you and then doing it. And maintain doing it. That's another key thing. Because if you do that, obviously, look, things can go wrong in life. But for the most part, you're controlling your own destiny to a certain degree. And, I think about, we can be our worst enemy. I know Nas has a song like that. But, a lot of times when we are our worst enemy, we look for someone to distract us and then we blame that they ruined our life. But look, other people, man, can really influence you. What I've been reflecting on, someone left a comment the other day. I think about this. You want to be around like-minded people. One of the comments left, I was debating on, still am, always do, until I make a decision. I was debating on the cheaper lot away from the ocean or the higher-end lot in a higher-end community. And one person says, Sam, you want to be around like-minded people. And it is true. Look, sometimes you go in a lower-end community, but I don't want to say it's lower-end per se, but it's, look, the amount of the rent, the amount of the house, the amount of something costs, it's going to attract a certain mindset. Not all the time. Again, but guys, I live in my car. Most people who live in their car, guys, drug problems, mental problems, or very low income, thinking they're going to beat the system. But does it stop me from living in my car? No. But it's been very hard with me connect with many people online that are living this lifestyle because they have a different mindset. Their mindset is, where can I park and do nothing all day? Rather than, how can I maintain a job, cut my housing bills, pick up a side job, sacrifice for years to get ahead, to reposition my life, etc., etc. And there's a clash, Mindsets clash. Hard to go forward when you're clashing because life hits you enough. That's why I say you don't need to fight your inner circle. They'll ruin your life. Keep your inner circle very small. Some girl left a comment on my Stay Single video. She goes, well, you can't be, totally not have any relationship. And she had an avatar of some girl smoking a cigarette like Marilyn Monroe. Marilyn Monroe had a string of unhealthy relationships, died of drug overdose. That's the total wrong idol. She ruined her life. She ruined your life. That's your idol? Marilyn Monroe's not an idol. Toaster. What's up, everyone? Great to see you, Sam. This one I can relate to. I go up and down. This one with my dad. I sometimes think I have it really bad with my dad. There's always some tension. We don't get along at all. One thing I've learned as I've gotten older is that's never going to change. If it isn't good in the beginning, it only gets worse. It's just the way it is. So the only solace you're going to have is hopefully being able to create income, figure out a way where you can live on your own and still go visit your family, but have boundaries. But you're gonna have that different mindset with your father the rest of your life. Hopefully you can maintain some type of relationship with boundaries, but it's very hard for a person who is emotionally and mentally not at your level to accept boundaries, just like, we can all relate to that, because they can't handle the pain of not things going their way. And that's why they lash out, and that's why they talk crazy, because they can't handle it. It's the primitive, and I understand it, life's painful. Twisted. However, I'm really grateful. I know I have it better than a lot of people. That'll help you stay at least positive as best you can. I know my dad is not absolutely horrible. There you go. But still, I acknowledge the only way is to move out and move on. Yeah, look, every young adult faces this challenge. In a first world country. In a third world country, families stay together forever. Why? They don't have the economic opportunities. They don't have Social Security a lot of times. They don't have subsidized housing. What they have is a bunch of people living together in very much shacks that have no building codes. Okay. And there's no DoorDash, there's no Walmart $15 an hour. We've had the great resignation in America, and most people weren't working before that. So, look, now do I care? No, I don't care, because to me it means more opportunity for those willing to work. I love it. Okay. To me, yeah, that's great. That's how I look at it. So I'm not bitter about it. I'm not mad about it. I'm encouraged about it. You know what? Hey, remember, every time someone drops out of the race, you move up. I say thank you. And remember, the longer you stay out of the race, the harder it is to get back in race condition. Never forget it. Tell my young people, able body and mind, the longer you stay out of the workforce, the harder your life gets. And if you don't believe me, go watch a YouTuber who's drunk, has below average videos, okay, and doesn't do much with their life. And they blame their parents, or they blame their person they got divorced with, or they blame whoever gossip drama on YouTube. It's a cycle of abuse. And guys, it takes two to tango. David Lopez, what's up, brother? I unfriended my sister and her husband earlier. You got to do what you got to do. We do not keep in touch, but kept seeing their posts that can be mentally harmful, and rarely posted on Facebook. Yeah, look, I would deactivate most of my Facebook. I deactivated all my social media other than YouTube. If I wasn't a creator, I would still do YouTube. I have a burner account for Instagram. I spy on some hot chicks. But even that, I don't do much, even that. Because, guys, a lot of filter on there. A lot of these chicks using pictures from 2-3 years ago. And, guys, don't even worry about it. Adam. Good evening, Sam. What's up, brother? 1 day away from returning to work. There you go. Look, the longer you go on vacation, the harder it is to come back. That's why, for me, I position my life where I don't have to take vacation. I will if I needed to. I will take time if I needed to. But for me, it's just harder to get back. I like to do a little bit each day. It's like if you miss more than 3 consecutive days going to the gym, you know how hard it is to get back? You got to stay in a rhythm. I'm not saying burn yourself out, but I'm saying, guys, girls, as you mature, you can ruin your own life just by getting out of rhythm. I'm very conscious of the rhythm of life. I remember watching a porn video, and the girl was like, fuck me to the rhythm of my body. Your heartbeat has a rhythm. When you go into the hospital, you're hooked up to a heart machine. It shows the rhythm of your heart waves. Guys, never forget it. Twister. Sam, I'm really grateful for your advice on unwinding my life. That's an interesting word, unwinding. And we talk about that word sometimes when you're strained on capacity. When you're strained on capacity, when you have too much stress, that means you're going to unwind some of the load, some of the stress points. Good job. One of the biggest obstacles ever that was holding me back from the ability to move freely was my dogs. You helped me accept that I need to, and then he continues to go on. My mom, look, I'm glad I grew up in a house with dogs, but I'm also glad that when my mom had 3 dogs, she gave the 3rd one. She found a nice farm in Pennsylvania, gave it away because the house was getting overrun, and my mom had to work. The kids were in school. It was just crazy. So I'm glad I had a dog, but it was a lot of work, and I wouldn't want to go through all that work, money, and heartache when they passed. And most people I know that have a service dog, they use that as an excuse and as a distraction from doing the work that they have the ability to do. Okay. So they just want another emotional high, and it's a really harmful thing. Again, I'm not saying there should be no service dogs, but I'm saying there needs to be a way higher qualification and a follow-up. You know what I mean? Like following up, like, are these people really using these service dogs to enable better behavior? Or are they using them just to have, like nothing to do and whatever? It's crazy. Early riser. What's up, brother? Great point, Sam, about finding the right area to live. I'm struggling with that. I found the right area, but I'm honing in, I'm perfecting or trying to pinpoint the best. Look, the more expensive place by the beach has higher level of security, which I like. I'm at the beach, which, I definitely like, and closer to amenities. But I feel more at home in the small little quaint place, a little bit in the cut. But everything has a pro and a con. It's a struggle. Early riser. Great point about finding the right area to live. Seems like that would be a challenge. It is possible to narrow it down to a certain price range that keeps riffraff not too well off area. look, one thing that keeps riffraff down is obviously if you're in an aged community, HOA keeps riffraff down. Okay, homeowner association. Either you have to be a certain age, or you can only have so many dogs, or your lawn has to be a certain way. But certain people, their personality, they can't be an HOA. So everyone's different. But that's one, I would say start right there. You have to know your personality. Do you like to work on a car? I think if you like to work on cars and have several vehicles, you're not an HOA person. If you like your dog not on a leash, you're not an HOA person. If you like a uniform, if you don't like to see an abandoned car on someone's lawn, you like HOAs. You say, well, I don't like to pay the HOA fee. Okay, well, when you don't pay the fee, you got to do the lawn, you got to do the maintenance. Are you a handyman? Are you a handy girl? Or you got to hire someone. Now you are the HOA. So you have to, but I found, so I'm an HOA guy, pretty much. That's who I am. I had an HOA when I had my condo, so I accept that. I don't want shared walls though, no condo. I don't want to be responsible. I don't want to ruin someone's life with my leak from my place, and I don't want them to ruin my life with whatever they got going on in their shared walls. I looked at 3 properties recently. Top one by the beach, HOA. The middle one, just 10 minutes from the beach, no HOA, and 40 minutes from the beach, HOA. The lot I like the most is 40 minutes away, but one is tough to get people to call you back when you go, when they're not using a realtor, tough to deal with homeowners, depending. So there's a lot there. We'll talk about that more, guys. Click the thumbs up. Thank you to all my members. Aaron's back. Aaron, I'm praying for you every day with your house sale. Do what you need to do for you. I support you. Flower emoji. Andre, always first. You're second today, but always first, brother. ESP, strong from Alaska. Twister, young but figuring out his life. David Lopez, writing down what he needs to remember and unfriending family members that are hurtful to his mental health. Adam, it's great to see you, brother. Keep pushing forward. You'll get back in the rhythm of work. Don't worry, brother. But when you take off of work and you're around your family, some of them got dementia, even if they didn't have dementia, God bless. I don't say that in disrespect. You can only be around family so much. That's what the coronavirus taught us. So what are you going to do? The great resignation? Now you're going to live with your family? Now you're going to do nothing and sit around them? Nah. Well, that's why I tell you, even if you're retired, even if you're a billionaire, you got to figure out how to manage your time. I'm not against people, being financially independent, not having to work, but what are you going to do with your time? Because if you just sit around your house, you're going to say, oh, they're ruining my life, but it takes 2 to tango. Back to these live comments. If I miss a comment, type it again. You know what it is. Who brings the energy? Who shows up? Who remembers the stories? Who's engaged? Bob Wells does bubbles, doesn't know any of your name. Most of these YouTubers are a fucking snooze fest. Okay. Their energy level is on nap. Okay. And no one wants to hear about their day. People want to hear about what's going on with you. Structure topic, go into the comments section. Let's go. Adam was off with COVID. Like they say, everyone's going to get COVID. Some are going to have no symptoms. Some are going to have mild symptoms. Some are going to go to the hospital. Statistics show us if you're vaccinated, 90% of people who are vaccinated don't go to the hospital. So all you can do is mitigate risk. But just like the flu, COVID's here for good probably. So it's just what it is. He goes, my company isn't covering my time off anymore for COVID. Yeah, well, did you have symptoms? Just because you test positive, you got to do, were you symptoms? Were you sick? Did you have to go to the hospital? That's the questions. They look at COVID. It is the form of the flu. And we were waiting for the vaccine to mitigate risk to not overwhelm the hospitals. And if you already had it once, your immune system should be stronger. If you're not decapacitated, if you don't have to go to the hospital, if you're not in bed, guys, you shouldn't be calling out of work. Again, depending on the protocol with your job. So, you got to be honest with that. Twist up. Do something about them. I'm still trying my best to map out how I'm going to do it. Well, you'll figure it out. It's really hard, but I'm getting there. And yes, Sam, you broke down nice last time on Wine Project. Thank you, brother. You're listening. I appreciate that. You got an ear to listen. Fire emoji. Twisted. You broke it down nicely. Thank you for listening. Aaron, I love you. Compassion and love. Compassion and love. That's your gift. But as you transition to the next season of your life, don't let people in a Toyota Tundra ruin your life, a new guy that wants to get with you. Don't let your emotions of, building a new life, maybe a little bit away from your children, men, sons, ruin your life. You can, look, it's sad though. I feel that pain. I understand it. But I'm telling you right now, men, women, and children, adults, I should say, forget children, adults. If you don't take care of yourself and you try to stay around the familiar people, the familiar job, the familiar relationships, you're going to ruin your life. You're going to ruin your children's life because you're going to be the worst example of someone faking inspiration and self-care, the worst example. But I will say this, love covers a multitude of sin. So even if you do that and you're a loving person, you're going to cover it. But I want you to be a loving person, but I want you to live your best life. Figure that out. That's your job. Rest of your life, you got a job. Just what I said. Because if you figure that out and you maintain it, that'll keep you busy the rest of your damn life. Adam, I love your brother. Yes, Sam. I went to the hospital. Okay, I had symptoms and headaches. Okay. I knew a girl that would go to the hospital just about every time she got sniffles. So did they admit you or did they send you home? She goes, headaches, throwing up, body aches. Okay, 101 fever's high. I had that for the first few days. Okay, how long have you been off work? I'm pretty much symptom-free other than a sore throat. Okay, so you got those symptoms. You went to the hospital. How long have you been off work? And that'll give us a good metric on what's going on over there. But 101's high, that'll say high. Look, when you get sick, there's two things that are major things. A high temperature, anything above 100, and shortness of breath. High temperature and shortness of breath are the red flags, okay? But once your temperature comes down, you don't have shortness of breath, then it's based on protocol and et cetera, et cetera. ESP. If you test positive for COVID-19, even if you have no other symptoms, you should quarantine in order to protect yourself. 5 days. That's what the CDC guidance is. Okay. So I don't know if he was off for 5 weeks. That's what we're trying to figure out. Twista. Oh my God, Sam. You just reminded me of something. I've been dying to tell you and Aaron. The other day at work, this sick guy came in, ordered like 4 coffees at the speaker. I was taking his order. Guys, how many people are walking around with COVID that don't even test themselves? I may have. You don't know. Okay. Not that you're not going to test yourself every day. You could test yourself today at noon. And if you don't test yourself at 5, you're going to have it. Guys, that's the way COVID is. Adam, they gave me 10 days off work. Okay, so that's double the amount of the CDC recommendation. I'm going back to work on Thursday. So you're good to go. Good job. Twist up. When I told him his total, he yelled, damn, that's expensive. And the speaker, and literally hurt my ear. Yeah, I wonder if he yelled that loud, okay, when he was called into work or when he had to do something. He's probably, like, I can't do it. I can't do it. It's like, you know what I mean? It's like, but when they hear like, oh, something concerning them, like I always tell you, you want to know if someone's really like, don't got it up there? Short them some money. And I guarantee they turn to Rayman. I'm like, oh, wait a minute. That don't sound right. Early riser. Strong self-care today. Let's go. Lifting weights. Okay. 5 days of weightlifting. Try to take 1 to 2 days off. Mix that in. Why? Your body, when you lift weights, you tear your muscles. And when you are not lifting, your muscles are healing and growing bigger. Obviously, as you get older, less heavy weights, more walking and resistance. You can still use weights. But I don't use as heavy as I used to. Why? Guys, you're getting older. I'm middle aged. Okay, so you got to be mindful. Look at the Ultimate Warrior. Look at his videos he did when he was in his 40s and 50s. He lifted every day. He tore a bicep. He had all types of issues. He still didn't look good. He didn't look like he looked in his 20s and 30s. It's life, guys. That's all I tell you. Don't go crazy. Because the chicks, unless you got great DNA, look, guys, once you get into your 40s, 50s, look, they got fake hair. They're getting bald. Okay. They got the MILF weight. Okay. And there's very few beautiful, hot people. And if they are, they're complete psychopaths. It's just the way everyone gets something. And the bottom line is, even if they were hot and they were totally nice, guys, you're going to totally share your life and waste half your capacity letting them ruin your life, waiting for them? No, hell no. Stingle for the win. Let's go. Early riser, strong self-care, lifted weights, bike ride, good. Clean food, yes, clean food. Food is your fuel. Food is your fuel. A lot of people eating diesel. Working extra hours right now with you on your laptop, yeah? I want to tell you, I see people living a van life, eating pizza out of a truck stop, ready to get into a fight, and they're going to get shot like that. Making videos of other people. Be careful out there, guys. A lot of people, just because someone's, guys, you got to be, I just don't tell you. I try to tell people a couple times. I don't tell them anymore. Why? Because they already almost got themselves fucked up. But I want to tell you guys, I know you're a psychopath and you don't care about losing your life, but I want to tell you, when the gun comes out, a lot of people act like they ain't psychopaths, just like when you're short of money. And I'll tell you, I don't want to be around any of that madness. But all I can tell you is I see people going down that road. Tristan, he was driving a Toyota Tundra. I want to tell you guys, a Toyota Tacoma, forget about a Tundra, you got a shot. But you guys know, after you raise kids, do you want to go back into a relationship? Hell no. You're done. Aaron, laughing Twister, he has debt. And if he doesn't have debt, he's got kids. Why? Are you going to meet any successful male in their 40s or 50s that doesn't have kids? Well, you say, yeah, inspirational nomad, isn't that you? Guys, I already told you, I'll ruin your life. I'm not that person to be in a relationship. Yeah. There's a reason I'm single. I don't want to be in a relationship with you. And a lot of people try to convince, oh, you're a loving person, you love my mom, I'll be in a relationship with you, I'll leave you. Yeah, that's right, just like that. So you don't want to be in a relationship with me. Aaron, Tristan, he has debt. Well, yeah. Aaron, he can't afford a Tundra. Well, guys, a lot of people afford stuff on payments. ESP. Raymond, yeah, if you short that money, damn right. That's all I was saying, guys. Raymond was a mathematical genius. And a lot of these psychopaths, definitely online, they're a lot smarter than Raymond. Okay? And they try to act like, whatever. I don't try to figure their life out. Why? Because they ain't going to ruin my life. They already ruined their own. I ain't going to play that game. So, guys and girls, we've been on here for almost a half hour. Somewhere, there was someone. See, guys, I wake up at 5 a.m. Some people wake up at 5 p.m. from a nap. That's the difference. Never forget that. Early riser. Exactly, Sam. I lift like 4 or 5 days. There you go. And do light, medium weights. Yep. I don't go at it as hard anymore. You can as you get older. It's wisdom. But my consistency is pretty solid. Let's go. Fire emoji twister. You know what it is. Shout out to Texas. Aaron, ESP, early riser. Adam, keep recovering, brother. David Lopez, Andre. What else is going on? Well, I say to myself, I do have this option, man, to seal up this home base by the beach by the end of the month. To be honest with you, the only reason I can't seal up the home base away from the beach is it's hard to, when someone is not listing with a realtor, it's hard to get the deal done, because if they're not really serious about selling, or if they've got emotional problems, it's tough to get the deal done. Look, but I will say this. Real estate agents are done, so are car salesmen. Why? Because I know someone who's selling by owner. Guys, I'll do a video about, there's these programs now. You can sell by owner. You can use like a digital brokerage, and you could just put a bid in online, guys. You don't really need to. But there's some good real estate agents still out there, and some are needed. Some people, they can't do online yet. So there's going to be another 10 years or so of that. But either way, man, let's just focus on getting through the day. Early riser, Sam. With that place by the beach, how is spacing between you and your neighbors? Tight, man. Okay. You're not going to get on the beach in South Florida and be under 200,000 or even under 300,000 and have a lot of room. You're not. Okay. If you want to have, you're not going to be under 1 million and have a lot of room on the beach in South Florida. Okay. So I accept that. It's just, it doesn't feel as homey because it's a little bit like a lot of concrete. I like a little bit of lush landscaping, get that a little bit more, in the suburbs or in the cut. But, you don't get the beach. And, so it's a trade-off. You're not going to buy a $200,000 place on the beach and have property. And if you don't have an HOA, you're not going to be by the beach. There's no single family properties with no HOA by the beach that are under 1 million. Not in nice areas. It's impossible. Good question. Pat Go, I know you want to get out of Michigan. Hey, Pat Go loves Arizona, but she's married and she feels like her husband is ruining her life because he has to go to the doctors. They had to leave Arizona and come back to Michigan. She's going crazy. And I understand her pain. That's what, make a mental note for everyone who wants a relationship. Pat Go. Homemade Taco Tuesday. Ooh. And it's in the house. Pat Go, I don't know how you stay positive through this pain. Okay? And you're not even vaccinated. So I want to tell you right now, you're a loving person with a lot of positive energy. I want to tell you that right now. Early riser, is it legal to ask a realtor about the neighbors? No, it's legal. I always ask about the neighbors. Yep. I ask not just the realtor, I try to go there to the property a few times, talk to the neighbors. I try to talk to people in general around the area, like they are loud or quiet. Some of that's going to be with price point, but I discovered that with that home base, guys, I was this close to for 150K. The community was decent, and it was good overall. And the neighbors weren't bad. Like, I wouldn't have to worry about getting robbed. But I could tell, like, they're the type of neighbors that socialize at night. They drink, and they're right next to you. And it felt like I was too crowded. The higher end you go up a little bit, the mindset's a little bit different. There's some arrogant rich pricks, don't get me wrong. But there's a different mindset, okay? So, instead of you, maybe, outside drinking, socializing, you're inside watching CNBC, okay, or whatever, right? So now in the country, it depends. Like if you're in a 55 and older community, it all depends. I met some, it depends. There's so many variables, tough to generalize, shouldn't do it. But all I can tell you is the number one advice I give you for buying property is go to the property several times. Wait at least 3 days before you put an offer. And even then it's tough, and no property is perfect, but I'm trying to get, I wish I got the feel of the lot, 40 minutes away at the beach, but it's not there. And it'll never be there. I mean, to be honest, because guys, I've looked everywhere. You're not going to get, okay, a couple 100,000, 100,000 place that's nice on the beach with that cozy home feeling. You're going to be in a tight lot or a condo. And even that price point, guys, is very limited now. I mean, maybe the real estate market will come down as the Federal Reserve raise interest rate, but I don't think it's going to come crashing down. I mean, unless they really... So, the problem, I don't know, man. The problem with living 40 minutes away from the beach, I don't know, man. Everything's got a give and a take, man. But the security is less, too, man. It all depends, man. I mean, I think a little bit more about security that I'm a public figure. Not that it really matters, but look, obviously one thing about your home is you want to feel at night that, your main time you use your home, your number one time, is for a safe, legal place to sleep. That's the number one thing you pay for a house, okay? Everything else builds on top of that. So, when you don't have an HOA or when you don't have a gated community, anyone can drive through your community. So that now increased some risk. When you don't have security cameras, now that kind of increased risk. When you don't have a man guard and a patrol, you increase risk. So it's how much risk do you want to take? Now there's some people, guys, they ain't got much money, ain't got much to lose. They'll fucking park right next to you and, whatever. They don't give a fuck. So I get that mindset, like they'll live with, no, I don't give a fuck. I wish them. So it all depends, right? But again, you're around like-minded people. It's like, so, you got to pick your poison. But look, yeah, lawn care is another thing. Look, now, if you're in an HOA, the lawn care is uniform. If you're not in an HOA, you're going to have one neighbor that's meticulous, anal, OCD about their lawn. You're going to have another that's a complete sloth. When I grew up in a house, our family was the sloth family on the bracket. And then you're going to have, middle of the ground. Okay. Some people will hire a landscaper. Some people do it themselves. But there won't be a uniform. Now, obviously, when you get to communities above 500,000, there's that price point kind of ensures a level of upkeep. Because once you get to that price point, people have money. Okay. Even if it's all debt, they have the ability to get debt. Okay. The lower in price point you go, and I don't want to say that all low price points are bad, because I've found some that are under 100,000 that the communities, they're in an HOA though. The communities in an HOA under 100,000 in certain areas, they're not by the beach. They're well kept. The people are well mannered. It's a go. But if once you get to that low price point and you have no HOA, guys, it's a free for all, man. And it's not worth it, in my opinion, unless you have no other choice. Twister. I have to go a little early tonight. Love to you, brother. Take care, everyone. Love to you, early riser. Love to you, Twister. Excuse me. Yeah, guys, come and go as you please. Let me know. Leave a comment below if you want to talk about something specific right now. Because I've kind of shared what I need to share, but I'm still here. I'm showing up. I want to talk about it. Let's go. I still feel thankful, encouraged, and inspired. Thankful I'm in Florida. Thankful that I hung in there. Thankful for my job. Thankful for the position I'm in. I still feel anxious about spending a certain amount of money on a home base. But I really don't feel inspired to buy an RV because I just don't see, for me, the wisdom in staying on the road without a home base. It's less hassle, but it's less stability and less long-term wisdom. It's a short-term, and I don't want to drive a van. Guys, I want to tell all you people that want to drive these Class Bs, I drove a cargo van for 5 years when I had an electrical contracting business. And I don't care what Class B you have. I don't care if you have a Sprinter. Definitely if you have a Dodge. Every day when you drive that car, you're going to feel like you're going to lay sheetrock, like you're going to do side work. It's not a car. It's a van. And like ESP, you got the NV200. Guys, the NV200 is like the Element. It's an SUV. The Transit Connect is like an SUV. A van, a cargo van, a Class B, you're not going to want to drive it everywhere all day. You're not going to enjoy it. I'm telling you. You're not. Now you say, well, that's why I'm going to get a travel trailer. Now that travel trailer is going to ruin your life. You got to tow it everywhere. Where are you going to put it? Always campgrounds? This is the problem with RVs, man. After you've explored. If you haven't explored, look, I don't think you need a Class B to explore. If you want it, fine. But you're actually going to enjoy traveling in a more nimble vehicle. That's what I've learned. Yeah. And why have a self-contained Class B when you could just say, pocket that 80 grand, go to Starbucks every day, go to your favorite restaurant every day. Okay. Instead of buying an $80,000, $100,000 Class B, now you got to cook in the van. Now you got to make your coffee. Okay. And now you got to sit longer. You can't drive as much. Yeah, guys, you're basically in a Walmart Cracker Barrel gym thing. It's tough, man. This is what I learned being on the road. That's what I tell you, man. Be careful. Early riser. I hear you on the HOA. It makes sense if it's well run. There's some of these HOAs that are not well run. You got to read the meeting minutes. You got to look at the HOA financials. You got to look at the history of how much they incrementally raise their HOA fee. You got to look at when was the last extra assessment and look at the age of the infrastructure, the water pipes, the sewer pipes, etc. in the community that may be common elements. Early riser, I hear you on the HOA. It makes sense and seems like it could be the best baseline to go. Yeah, for me, I'm probably definitely going to be HOA. I saw this one home base. It was no HOA. And I like the less bureaucracy, but I don't like doing my own lawn, and I don't want to have to deal with hiring someone to do my own lawn. And then I don't like, I'm in a community where there's no gates, where any neighbor has, you can have a good neighbor and a bad neighbor. There's no uniform. There's no standard. You can't call the HOA president. You're going to call the county. Good luck with that. They'll come. They'll fine them. But now you got an enemy living on the street. Now, look, you can have an enemy in the HOA. I don't want to act like that, but but I will say this. The non-HOA appeals to more people and maybe a better appreciating asset. Because to be honest, out of the three options I'm looking at currently, the non-HOA property would probably be the best long-term appreciating asset. But again, when you buy property to live long-term, versus just buying for appreciating asset, it's a different mindset. If I was just on that investing stuff, if I was just on asset allocation, which I am, but now I'm not just on that. I'm looking for a home. So I have to feel comfortable. It has to play to my strengths. And for me, I understand asset allocation. The best asset allocation would be for me to buy the middle of the ground one that has the highest rate of appreciation, less bureaucracy, and because it's relatively well located. But I wouldn't really feel like it's home. And it doesn't have anything I want. It's by the beach, but it's not on the beach. Okay. It's not an RV lot. It's a mobile home lot, and you can't just put an RV there, because any RV lot, unless you're in the middle of nowhere, is going to have to be an HOA condo association that can either be a mobile home or RV. You're not going to be in a single family home community that has mobile homes that you could just put an RV without the mobile home. So, this is the dynamic. I don't want to go through all that. Good comments. Aaron's very loving. Have a nice night, Twist. I thank God for loving people like Aaron. Thanks for the laugh. Aaron, we love you. Thank you for your encouragement. It's a gift. Pago. I had a juicy taco. Well, I want to tell you this, Pago. I don't like it dry. I don't like my food dry. I don't like my weather dry. And I don't like, what else dry. Now, I know you like it dry, Pat. I know you like Arizona. And I know, but I feel your pain. Now, you feel like people ruined your life by going back to Michigan. But you've stayed positive. I want to give you credit. You could have left some nasty comments like, this person killed my life. I hate everyone. But I want to tell you, Pat, you got a positive attitude. She goes, I used Old Paso taco from Dollar General. What? Say it ain't so, Pat Go. The Dollar General, that's now the $1.25 General. I want to tell you this, Pat Go. I went to the dollar store today. You want to know what I bought, Pat Go? I'm going to have to write this off my taxes now because it's a prop, being that I'm using this on YouTube. I bought me some AA batteries from the dollar store. But these were $1.25 with tax, $1.33. And two of them already went bad. That's the Dollar Tree batteries for you. Okay. Back go. Tomorrow is Greasy Soup Night. Sounds like you have made it back to the land of Michigan, where greasy soup is second nature, and cursing your loved ones because they ruin your life is part of the dinner conversation. I'm in South Florida, where what bikini I'm going to wear tomorrow, not me personally, but people I know, is part of the conversation. And no state income tax part of the income. Now, look, guys, if you move into a bad community, they ain't talking about, like, the tax code, okay? They're talking about the gun laws. So that's the other thing, guys. Like, depending on the community, is going to be the conversation. You move into a retirement community, it's going to be talking about, like, doctor procedures. You move into a lower-end community with no HOA, you're going to be talking about politics and guns. You move into a higher affluent community, they're going to be maybe talking about the tax code, investments, development, etc. Every community has a conversation. Some good, some bad on all. And I'm generalizing, so forgive me, but this is somewhat true. Hal, what's up, man? Brooklyn's in the house. Hal, you know what it is. We've been out here for 45 minutes strong. I wake up at 5 a.m. There's some people that just woke up at 5 p.m. That's the difference. Never forget it. Hal, how are you doing? How's the job? Let's go. Hal, I started lifting weights. Take it easy. You're getting older, too. You're almost middle-aged. Or you're middle-aged. You're in your late 30s. I remember. Let's go. He goes, I haven't done weights since I was playing ball in high school. Take it nice and easy now. I'm about to be a beast. Take it easy. You're a middle-aged man now. You're not in your high school. Maintain your health. I hurt myself doing that. Maintain your health. Stay nice and easy. But consistency and resistance training is still wisdom. Early riser, Sam. Is that beach property within walking distance of the beach? Yeah. I can't just jump out of my place and be in the beach, but it's in walking distance. So, it has good and bad, Jack Burrows, 199, J-Code, J-Flight, Class B, with a house, with a wife, with a kid. Let's go. Number one, Nomad. Stay engaged, laughing. Slam that keyboard. Jack Burrows, you know what it is. Most people can't muster up enough excitement to roll out of bed. But I've been out of bed since 5 a.m., and it's 5 p.m., and there's some sloth watching me with their laptop on their stomach, and a bag of candy to their right, and a person they say ruined their life in the other room that they don't even have sex with anymore. And I am the closest thing they have to an inspired relationship. And I'm only connected to them through fiber optic cables and the power of Dr. Fauci. I want to tell you tonight that there's some people, guys, they need a fourth booster. And we're working on that as we speak. Cartoon Mark! Yeah, I know, brother. Believe me, Cartoon Mark, I know this title of this live feed. I know it's close to the heart, but I want to tell you, brother, we're going to stay positive. I know that you're hurting, so when someone's hurting, what should you do? Just let them be and let them know you love them, and then shut the fuck up. Why? When people are hurting, they don't need a sermon. They just need you to enter. They need you to do what you do. They're watching. They're going to do what you do. They need the time to be by themselves. And I say, I respect the space. Hal, thank you for always keeping it real. I love you. I've been up since 4:15 a.m. You beat half the world, man. I want to tell you, I know this because I'm up at 5 a.m. Hal, I want to tell you, when you wake up 5 a.m. or earlier, I would say 3/4 of the world. Now, obviously, in the world, there's different time zones, different parts. But wherever you're at in the world, when you wake up, 3/4 of your country, of people in the same time zone, they're not up. That means you got a head start on 75% of society, or if not more. Hey, guys, when you can get a head start and it's legal and it's earned, I'll tell you, that's why you should wake up early, unless you're working the night shift. And look, guys, as I get older, if I got laid off and I had to pick up a job, would I consider a night shift? Yeah. Why? I'll work when most people are sleeping. Why? Less people I got to deal with. But you ain't going to get top money most times working a night shift. But if you're a nurse, you could, so it all depends. He goes, been up since 4:15 a.m. You're going to sleep like a baby. Work 10 hours, money bag, and now self-care all day, every day. You getting a booster? Nope. The two Moderna shots are enough for me. I don't plan on getting the booster. I'll evaluate as I go. I'm not high risk, so I take all those things in consideration. And I work remote. I'm not around people most of the time, so I feel I'm good with two. I didn't even want to do two. I'm honest with you guys. But I saw where the country was at, and I saw society as a whole. It made the most sense. I didn't like it, but I did it because I thought it all out. Now, again, could it all be wrong? There's no guarantees. But I look at my age, I look at my circumstance, I look at where society is now versus before the vaccine, and I said, for me, I'm not going to do a booster at this point. Could that change? Could I be wrong? Sure. I'm being honest with you, though. Cartoon Mark, Sam, the Undertaker last night, bring the fire. I want to tell you guys, I'm not the Undertaker, I'm the Resurrector. I am basically calling Lazarus to rise from the dead. I'm calling you to rise out of your ruined relationship. Rise out of your ruined house. Rise out of your ruined storage unit. Because they all ruined your life. Your wife is your Undertaker. Your kids are your Undertaker. Your house is your Undertaker. I am here to breathe life back into you. I am the opposite of the Undertaker. I don't take naps. So never forget that. I love you, brother. I like Ultimate Warrior, not the Undertaker. Never forget it. Early riser. Yes, Sam. Property near the beach sounds great, but I know it's not an easy decision. One of the hardest decisions in my life. But the good news is I think I've kind of more and more gone away from the RV option. Because I just can't make... Look, it's easier. But I don't think it's going to give me the quality of life and the long-term trajectory on what me as an individual, I'm not saying this for everyone, wants to do. Now, again, I've lived on the road for 5 years. So if you haven't done it and you want to do it, I'm not saying you shouldn't do it. But I'm saying, this is where I'm at. Good job. Pat Go, Cartoon Mark, lightning bolt emoji, and slap that laptop emoji. Let's go. Early riser. Yes, Sam. Oh, yeah, for that. Hal, Sam, not to get personal. Is that a close friend or family member you have tatted on your chest? It was a friend that passed away. Love and respect. Thank you. I have a tramp stamp that says greasy soup. Hey, I dated girls with a couple tramp stamps. So I don't look down on that. Why? It's like, it's like any tattoo. Like, look, there was a season where getting a tattoo above your butt was in. Now, yeah, look, does it look, look, guys, look. It is true. As you get older, it's not, we make jokes about these things, but it's not about that. As you get older, you're going to be, yeah, there's still MILF sex, there's GILF sex, but most guys, even when you're young, sex is 5% of a relationship. 95% of it is talking or ruining your life or sleeping in a separate room. So, guys, who cares? Just live your life. That's what I'll tell you. Pecco, I love you. ESP. I'm where you are, Sam. I'm not sure whether or not I'm doing a booster. I understand that. And again, I want to tell all my people not vaccinated, guys, I still give hugs. I don't know if these people are vaccinated. I know one people I give hugs, they're not vaccinated. So now look, I'm not like going around like licking shit. But I'm using as much wisdom as I can, and I'm respecting society. Because again, I thought about it when I got the initial. I thought, well, I got to do the right thing here as best you can. She goes, I did 2 shots of Pfizer. I'm waiting and evaluating about the third. Yeah, look, the third is basically the same thing from most of our understanding. It's like, same. It's like another dose, just like a flu shot. Every year it's an updated thing or a new thing, new strand. This thing's here forever. But right now, I think society's in a lot better shape. The hospitals are not overrun. Again, everyone's going to get COVID, even if you were vaccinated. Well, if I'm going to get COVID, why should I get vaccinated? So that you have a 90% chance of not being in the hospital. If you got 2 vaccinations, which was original recommended guidance, unless you had the J&J, chances are you're pretty much good. The booster, if you're a high risk, it may be worth it. But the data does show us, the facts show us, that most people in the hospital, most, not all, are unvaccinated. And the main reason we shut down the country was not to stop people from getting COVID. It was to stop a rush of everyone getting it at once and then overflowing the hospital, and then all the nurses quit, and a lot of nurses already quit. Okay? And a lot of people already quit. So, guys, you think they can't find help at Starbucks? Imagine if we overran the hospitals, all these nurses that would have quit. Yeah, and a lot of you people that don't want to do shit, but every time you go to Chick-fil-A, you want people working. Every time you go to Walmart, you want the stock, the shelf stock. Every time you go to the gas station, you want gas. You want everyone else to work in society, but you don't want to work, guys. This is what happens. Hal, love and respect. I love you, brother, and I appreciate your question. Love. My hand is on my heart, so I feel you. I know you feel me, and I respect you, and I love you, and I appreciate you. It's all love, brother. Pat, I have a tramp stamp that says closed steel mill. Well, Pat, like I say, one thing I love about you is that you're positive, man. It's a gift, Like I said, the one thing I don't like about being a YouTuber is I don't like hurting people. And I know when I'm very passionate and tense, I know I've hurt some people. So, look, that's not what I like. I like positivity. I like encouragement. But I also, to get done what you need to get done, you got to be intense. Okay. And look, when you're intense and when you're locking heads, sometimes with someone who isn't intense, they're very apathetic. There's always going to be some type of and even we know online, it's different than in person. Because again, in person, guys, I kind of to myself, I'm not this boisterous. More or less in these live feeds, I'm sharing a mindset, not a mannerism. And most people don't understand that. Early riser, Sam, if you got the beach property, do you think there would be a sense of relief along super excitement? That's a good question, early riser. This is what I think the range of emotions would be. Relief, yes, because the number one stress as a nomad is where do you park? And even though I'm mixing in some stealth parking because some of these campgrounds I didn't book a year in advance, I only can have so much availability. And every time I stealth camp, I say, man, I'm done with this. I'm telling you guys that. So, now look, there's going to be a range of emotions. The number one emotion is, relief, I don't have a place to park. But the other serious emotion is entanglement, anxiety of being committed. The dynamic of the nomad life is it's freeing, and I can't deny it. The reality is, are you really free if you have to find a place to park every night and you're parking in public where there's a lot going on that you're not liking sometimes? It's a duality. So I'm going back to I just wish the beach property was like the property 40 minutes away from the beach. Because when I went to the property 40 minutes away from the beach, I felt home. But to be fair, the community was not big enough for me. Meaning there wasn't enough space where I could walk and be in the cut. Every time I walk in this small little community, everyone's going to see me. And the bigger communities, I almost have to be in because, not because I'm a personality on YouTube, but I mean, I do think about that a little bit, but mainly because I'm a loner. And so I kind of want to be in a resorty area where it's a big ocean because I'm a big fish. If I go into a little pond, I'm a big fish. And I'm not going to a little community so I can rule over it. I just want to go into a place where I feel comfortable, but I want to be in the cut, man. I want to, you know what I mean? So it's a duality, man. And that's why the decision has taken so long. If it was a no-brainer, I would have made the decision. It's not, it's one of the hardest decisions outside of like serious health, life and death shit, you know what I mean? Like this is a big, the one positive is I know that unless there's climate change, which is a reality that takes place in my lifetime, which is questionable, even though it's been warmer in Florida than I ever remember. And for the most part, I know I'm pretty much where I want to live. So that's positive, within an hour or so of certain areas. But the negative is no one property has all the aspects I'm looking for. And I don't think there's ever going to be a way that it does. Because there's no way I'm going to find a quaint little place that's below my means that I have more space to have peace, but I also have tons of way to walk. I'm by all the resources. I'm by the beach. It's impossible. And I'm not going to find a place that has all this peace, all this serenity, and I have top security. I have amenities, infrastructure. I'm trading, and that's the thing, where are we at? Yeah, so good question, Early Riser. Good question, everyone. Guys, we've been on here for an hour. Someone just woke up an hour ago. Okay, remember that commercial? It's 10 a.m. It's 10 p.m. Do you know where your child is? Guys, it's 7 p.m. Do you know where your day went? It's done. Okay. Your day's over. That's why you wake up early, man. At least my day is, guys. So, now look, if I had a home base, one thing about being by the beach or by a populated area is you get better Wi-Fi. And obviously working remote, you need that. And obviously, you got to think about that. The more out there you go, the less Wi-Fi. And the other thing you got to think about is, how does it affect your daily routine? Now, I would probably still do a lot of these live feeds from the parking lots because I can be boisterous. I'm not going to be in a community, especially a community that I'm on a small lot, that I'm not going to scream like this. I'm not going to disrespect my neighbors. But I'll probably have some live feeds from the home base inside of it. And just have a more melatonin thing the way the hotel was. So, I don't know, But, one thing like now, right, like it's where, as I'm making this live feed, Eastern Standard Time, it's about 7 p.m. So now my daily routine is, I may go get one more thing to eat or not. I usually do that. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. But then I definitely got to go to the gym. I definitely got to take a shower. Then I definitely got to go to a campground. So I got about another 2 hours on the road, one way or another. And the main reason you get a home base is for the nighttime. When you wake up, you say, oh, thank God I don't have a home base. As you get towards the evening, that's when you want the home base. The home base is mainly for, that's stability, that structure at night. You could supplement it with campgrounds, and it does help. I'm not going to lie. But you got to do a lot of logistical planning. You got to have reservations, definitely in populated, nice areas. And if you're going to live out of a car, are you going to set up a tent? You're going to be a tent camper? If you're going to have an RV, you're spending almost just as much as a house. And, what's your long-term strategy? Do you want to move every 2 weeks all the time? You're going to find out where you like to live, the elevation, the climate, the people. And it's going to hurt your heart more to go 2 hours or an hour away from that location rather than to stay there 90% of the time. Look, everyone needs some variety. You need to, everyone needs to go, but not every 2 weeks. That's the dynamic. At least over a period of time, not initially. Early riser. Yeah, I can see you in the cut for sure. Mixing with people a little bit here and there. Yep. then going home. Hard to say though. I am not you, yet we're all different. So I can truly know how you feel with it. Yeah, no, I appreciate your questions. They're good questions. I appreciate it. Yeah, I look at myself like, I don't know if you remember that movie Ocean's 11 with who was it? That all those actors in it, man. But there was the one actor when he was like going to talk to the owner of the casino. And it was like, when you look at him, you want to make eye contact, but then look away. You want to be noticed, but not recognized. You want to be acknowledged, but not remembered. Now, I want to just be like a passing soul, okay, for the most part. But look, obviously, as you get older, you want to be in somewhat of a community where if something happens, like at least someone knows, like to check, But I want to be in a community where I can do my thing, but I can be left alone. Okay. And I think both of the communities I'm looking at, all three of them, I'd be that. The thing I'm struggling so much is I'm trying to make the best decision for my best life. Because I'm not trying to do this again. Like, you know what I mean? I'm trying, even though, you can never say anything's forever, right? But I'm really not getting into it to sell the property in 10 years. I may sell in 10 months, but I doubt it. So that's not why I'm doing it, at least. If I was getting in for it just for that, then I would buy the one with no HOA. I think that has the most appreciation possibility at the price point it's listed. But if I want to make money, guys, I'll do some stock things before I do real estate things. So, that's not, I don't buy real estate for that. Early riser. Yeah, you have good people skills, and I bet good, polite exit skills. Yep, definitely. By the grace of God and through hard work. Yeah, I am sure you can navigate the people aspect of it. Yeah, and that, I will say, that's one of my gifts. I was always born with it, but I've refined it. I've got good people skills. I know some of you people say how intense I am online. Guys, I always tell you guys, online is a mindset. In reality, 90% of people or so I'm very good with. There's always a few people in life, but when there's a conflict, I avoid it and I get away from it. I don't lock heads. So, yeah, I mean, I think if you can learn anything in life, forget going to school, at least initially, learn to deal with people, because that's going to be your number one pitch point in whatever you do, professional, personal, etc. Even me, guys, if I was really playing YouTube for the hustle, I would tone myself down a little bit more, and I would play nice with everyone. And I do try to be nice as best I can, but I would tone down some of the intensity and exchange it for some more members, some more people I don't have to block, and I know how to do that. But for me, this is a creative thing where it's not just business. Okay, if it was just business, guys, it's a different model. I understand business. It's like both. I'm doing something I'm passionate about, and I'm trying to earn money off it, but not at the expense of losing my passion. And that's what makes YouTube special, in my opinion. Because if it was just money, guys, I've got so many certifications, I could go make $200 an hour if I want to. So in life, all I can tell you is a big part of your best life is you work so hard to be able to try to do what you're passionate about and make some money off it. That's a huge, it's still work. And you guys know it's work because you've tried things. Okay. So, but to get to that point and then let someone else hold your paintbrush is like, well, then I might as well just, might as well work extra hours as a nurse, extra hours as an engineer, extra hours as an electrician, extra hours as a plumber, extra hours as a state worker, right? So it's like, guys, you can make money, especially now. People don't want to work. You can do a lot of shit. So, but I do tell you this, if you don't have a W-2, you can never be creative. If you don't have some income stability, you can't really be your best. You're going to be like a pastor at the church that can never really say how they really feel. Like, bitch, you crazy. Sit down. I just masturbated last night. You can't say that as a pastor. Why? You need that 10%. You know what I mean? And it's a little bit of a show. Okay. Look, guys, when you can't afford to live on your own, you're going to deal with your parents. Why? You can't afford to live on your own. So, everything has that duality, All right, guys and girls, we've been on here for an hour and 5 minutes. It's 7 p.m. A lot of the psychopaths are waking up. They want to come online and join the live feeds. If I had a home base, I'd probably do another live feed at night. Why? If you go live 9, 10 o'clock at night, that's when everyone's lurking, man. But right now, I got to discipline myself to stay on schedule, do hygiene. Got to take a shower every night, floss my teeth, etc., etc. All my nomads take a shower before bed. Why? It makes so that you don't put dirt on your sheets. It's a cleaner, healthier sleep environment, and you'll feel better. Never forget it. Early riser. Thanks for the thoughtful replies. Great questions. I enjoy the channel. I'm grateful for your membership. ESP, I love you. I love everyone. Thank you again. ESP, Early Riser, Pat Goal, my man Hal. Cartoon Mark, I'm praying for you, brother. I pray for you a lot today. Jack, thank you for always being gracious. Aaron, thank you for being back with me. I want you to get into a season of life where you do what you need to do for you. I love you, and I'm very grateful to have you back. You're a very compassionate, loving woman. Pat, go, hang in there. Early Riser, thank you again for the great questions. Twister, you're young. Keep working on your best life. Avoid conflict. Adam, I love you, brother. I hope you're healing well. Continued from COVID. Remember, stress weakens the immune system. And remember, when you live with a bunch of conflict, that's a bunch of stress, and there ain't enough boosters in the world to boost your immune system when you destroy it. Never forget it. Remember, guys, let's stay positive. Oh, I will say this. The vaccines are there to supplement a level of protection in addition to a healthy lifestyle. Now, again, I know people, my mom, other people, and as we get older, we can only do so much. All of us have limitations. And, again, the most at risk are the elderly and the overweight and those with certain immune system. But I'm saying all that to say, as best you can, not the only, one of the ways to increase your health is to take care of yourself. Wake up early, eat as healthy as you can, within reason, not extreme, and keep your body moving, do something productive, keep your mind engaged, manage your time, push yourself to do things. Don't take naps. Don't shut down your body and then restart it in the middle of the day. That's horrible for your health. Horrible. And everyone who tells you it's good for your health, look at their life. Everyone who tells you a nap is good for your health and self-care, look at their career, look at their relationships, and look at their money bag. I don't know anyone that has a successful, high-earning career, great relationships, great money that takes naps. No one. Okay. So are there exceptions? Hey, not many. Not in that instance, at least in my opinion. Everyone do what they want. I love you. Thank you for watching.